Hey Planty People, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit on the negative side, so I hope that's okay. I usually try to keep it pretty positive, you know, good vibes only for the most part. But I think that it is important to talk about plants that we fall out of love with. I think it's a very common thing that happens to us, especially whenever you're going into a plant store or a plant nursery or a big box store, what have you, and you just feel like you have to come out with something, and sometimes that leads to plant purchases that you really shouldn't have made just because you feel like you have to have something, like you should leave with something, right? I know I felt like that many times in my planting career. So I hope you guys are okay with chilling with me on the floor. Sometimes I just want to take a break from my typical scenery in the background, and I like to hang out on the floor and chill out with you guys. So I hope that you guys are ready for a nice, relaxed, and maybe a little bit more on the negative type of video. Okay guys, let's go ahead and take care of some housekeeping. If you aren't subscribed, maybe you've been contemplating it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe you should go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you've been enjoying the content, and hit the notification bell to let you know whenever I post new videos. Also, while you're liking this video, if you could give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down and let me know how I'm doing, and let me know if this is the kind of content you like to see, just go ahead and hit that button. And also, don't forget to leave a comment, because the comment section's where it's at, honestly. I love comments. I love talking to each and every one of you. I try my darndest to respond back to every comment. I know that there are a few that, you know, I miss, but for the most part, I get you guys. So now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and actually get into the video and start talking about some of the plants that I just like fallen out of love with. Okay, so the first one is going to be my absolute bane of my existence. This plant was a plant that I got so hyped about. I was so in it for this plant. I needed it. It was at the very beginning of quarantine where I was just like, I need this plant. Like, I had to have it. Like, it was like in my soul, like something that you can't deny it. You can't deny yourself of this need. It wasn't a want, it was a need. And it was my Philodendron Brandianum. Now, when I first got this dude, well, he's in like a 3-inch pot, first of all, which is fine. When I first got this guy, he was looking really good, looking really healthy. I enjoyed him. I paid, after taxes, I think I paid about $60 for it, which is pretty on par with what prices currently are still, which I still think is a pretty good price for a nice full pot. However, this guy started getting so leggy. And it was because he started getting leggy because a lot of his leaves started to unfurl, and whenever they would unfurl, they would rip in half, or they just wouldn't completely unfurl at all, or they would just unfurl half of the leaf. And it just started looking so bad. The leaves started yellowing. I have just had it with this Philodendron Brandianum. I think there's going to be an upcoming video where I'm just stress cutting the Philodendron Brandianum because he makes me so mad. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of looking at him. I see you. He's tangled up there with my Hoya australis, and I was going to untangle him, but he's just really in there, really tangled. So I might have to cut him out of where he is currently staying. But yeah, I just cannot stand my Philodendron Brandianum any longer. He's gonna get chopped soon, and I think whenever I chop him, I'm just gonna start chopping and prop him and just like selling it, because I'm so mad at it. I don't ever want to look at that plant ever again. Okay, so the next plant is going to be my Philodendron burl marks. I've fallen out of love with this guy because he's got spider mites, first of all, and I can't seem to get rid of him. I have treated him 3 times now, and he is still just like spider mite heaven over here. But I do like how fast that this guy grows. I took a lot of cuttings off of him not too long ago because one day he got a little too top heavy and decided to fall over and almost snapped my Monstera elbow. Like if that would, oh, he would have been out the door in the trash if he would have snapped my Monstera elbow. I would have been so angry. But I've just been holding a grudge on him ever since then, and he's been in quarantine all the way over here on my dresser all by himself, and I just can't get rid of the spider mites, and he just makes me so mad, and I'm constantly having to repot him in his leca because his roots are just like crazy. It's like every single month he needs to be repotted because he just roots like crazy. If I don't get rid of him, or if I don't sell him, or whatever, throw him away, I think I might convert him back into soil and stick him outside on my patio where I don't really care if he gets spider mites, honestly. Like a lot of my plants on my patio, they endure a lot of things. Like there's bugs, there's lizards crawling in and out of them every single day. Like that doesn't really bother me. I don't put plants out there that I don't think can handle it. And I know that this guy can certainly handle it. My next plant is going to be my Monstera Peru. Now, I kind of go in and out of love with this guy. His roots are looking kind of mush, which is a little upsetting to say the least. I'm not really looking forward to repotting that because I think he's going to lose a lot of roots, and with that is going to be a lot of foliage loss. But the reason why I go in and out of love with this guy is because whenever he puts out a new leaf, it's so beautiful, it's so shiny, it's crisp, and it just like, it's heavenly, honestly. But in the meantime, I'm just staring at the same old leaves all day long, and yeah, he just grows so slowly, so obnoxiously, so fussy for a Monstera of all genuses. He's got 2 new leaves coming in, so that's kind of promising. I definitely won't be getting rid of him anytime soon by any means, but if you could grow some leaves a little bit faster, that would be great. Why don't you work on that, okay? Okay, so I have 2 Hoya and 1 Philodendron left, so let's go ahead and do a Hoya. That is going to be my Hoya australis Lisa. This was the Hoya that broke the camel's back for me. This Hoya was what kind of like made me start spending a little bit more on plants because I wanted this guy so badly. I thought he was so beautiful. This was just, whenever I started seeing Hoya australis Lisa, it was kind of like new-ish to the plant market. Well, at least it seemed like it was new. Hi, Maggie. Oh, well, hello. Nice to meet you. But anyway, it seemed like Hoya australis Lisa was pretty new to the market and everybody wanted it. It was hard to get, and especially full pots were really hard to get, but I bought mine just like this. I think I spent, oh, I can't even remember how much I spent. I had to scroll way, way, way back on Etsy to see how much I paid for this guy. But I think I spent like upwards around like $30 or so just for the plant, and maybe another 10 or 15 in shipping, which for me was just like a huge ordeal because, like I said, this was the plant that broke the camel's back. And ever since then, I've wanted more and more fun and exciting plants because this plant is fun and exciting. However, this specific plant has been driving me nuts because mealy. I was having the most ridiculous time keeping mealies off of this guy whenever he was in soil, and so I converted him into leca, and from then on he'll put out some nice new growth. Like here's some new growth right here, which is spectacular, and then a lot of times he'll just die off and fall off, and it's so irritating. It makes me so mad. I've taken 1 cutting off of this guy and I've had him close to 2 years now. Like, that's ridiculous. Come on. I do really like this plant still. I just wish that we didn't have the past problems that we had. Now, if I was to find a basket of Hoya australis Lisa for like $20 at a big box store, oh yeah, I'd be grabbing it up like real quick. But this specific one has made me very irritated. and I'm just not in love with you anymore. I'm just not, it's you, it's not me, honestly. Next up is going to be Philodendron Perkins. Is it Birkin or Birkins? Are you plural or are you singular? Philodendron Perkins. I'm just gonna have to alternate between the two names for the rest of the time while I'm talking about it. Now, when I saw this guy in person, I thought he was so freaking cool. The person who plant-fluenced me was gonna be Harley G. She talked about hers all the time, and I never really cared about it. I never really when I say cared about it, that's a little strong. It wasn't a plant that I was just like, ooh, I have to have that. I was never it was never some desperate thing of ooh, I need to go find that right now. I need to go check all of my stores, all my nurseries, get on Etsy and stock pages for Birkin updates. It was never anything like that until one day we got our trending tropicals in and this guy was set out. Now I do work at a grocery store and we have a little floral department with houseplants, and so we actually got in trending tropicals, which is where this guy came from, and I was really excited whenever I saw it. I think just being able to see it in person was what made me the most excited, because sometimes you see and hear about plants and you never get to see them until you see them in person randomly one day and you're like, ooh, I gotta get it because everybody talks about it. That was Philodendron Perkins for me. I think he's okay. I have fallen out of love with him. I kind of wish that I had never bought him. $20 was still a really good price for the size plant, don't get me wrong. But he sits in the corner and I just feel bad because I feel like I'm mistreating him because he is in the corner on my desk. He's dusty as crap right now. But you know what I will say about Philodendron Perkins? I will say that even though I've mistreated him a lot, he still puts out new leaves every now and then. So I must not be mistreating him too bad. He's okay. He's not my favorite. I've fallen out of love with him since I've purchased him. He's okay. So this next one is going to be a Hoya. And I feel like this is going to make some of you guys upset, but I have reasonings for it. This is Hoya Rebecca. Now, Hoya Rebecca is pretty famous in the Hoya genus, in the Hoya genus right now, because it sun stresses so beautifully and it's so gorgeous. It turns a beautiful maroon, burgundy, red. It just looks it looks so good. I have tried now for a year to get this guy to sun stress even the slightest bit. He won't do it for me. He will not do it for me, and I don't know what it is. It took him a long time before he started growing. This whole entire, from here out and from about here out is brand new growth, out of nowhere. So apparently he's happy, but he just won't sun stress for me at all. I'm very tickled to see that he is all of a sudden putting out new growth. That makes me kind of happy, makes me not fall out of love as much as I thought I was, but still not in love with it. I really wish that I could get it to sun stress. It just won't sun stress for me, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Somebody put it in the comments down below how I can get this dude to sun stress, because I literally have a grow light on it. It is right above it, and it just won't do it. Maybe the lumens just aren't high enough in it. It's just one of those pinky purple grow lights that I got off of Amazon. It was cheap, so I was probably not even doing this guy too many favors, honestly. So yeah, just didn't live up to the hype that I was hoping for. I was hoping for it to turn red and maroon and purple just easily and overnight, and that's just not what's happening. It's just completely green. There's not even any signs that he might be sun stressing anytime soon, which is really unfortunate because I really like this guy. I still like him, but not for the same reasons. Okay guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, leave me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Let me know how I did down below in the comment section, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.